Live. Let me know when you guys can hear me. We always want to do a sound check. Hey, everyone. Hey, Ed. Hey, LS. All right, it looks like it's working. So when you can hear me, say something to make sure you can hear my voice. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. All right. So it looks like we're live, we're good. How's everybody doing? I'm a little tired. I have my coffee though. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Jello Shots. Hey, Melissa. Hey, everybody. Lisa, Bruce. Hey, Bruce. Good to see you here. Hey, Corporal Tom. Awesome. Hey, Sade. I don't know. Cassie Cam. What do the spirits do on the other side? What we do for eternity. Okay. So before I get into, no, not pajama pants today. Today I actually have my jeans on. But it's still early here in Phoenix. It's 7 o'clock. It's still light outside. But I know it's, if you're on the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock. So yeah. But anyway, so tonight we are going to see that statue right there, right here. Now that's an Archangel Michael statue. It's like 2 feet something tall. It's beautiful. I have had mine for a while. Tonight I'm giving away a brand new one. And one of you guys are going to win it tonight. Now, this is a $250 statue, but I want to give one back to you guys. So at the end of the live stream tonight, Debbie's on the other side of the house is always taking names. And if you're in this group for the first half hour, if you come in late, your name won't be on it, but you won't hear me now anyway, so it doesn't matter. So your names will be written down, your YouTube screen names, and at the end of the night, we'll pull one winner for that statue right there. It's kind of heavy, it's big, but it's awesome. So that's what we're giving away tonight to one of you here. I hear your voice 2 times and can't understand, somebody's saying. Does anyone know why that would be? Had to refresh, okay. Do you see my name? Yes, Suzanne Sanchez, I see you in there. Now, Debbie's in the back room. She's taking down all your names. So we're going to do that tonight. So we also have the Q&A. You guys can ask me anything. I believe May 22nd is our group night. So that's going to be the group night for May. And maybe the 27th is the second Q&A, live Q&A. And on that second Q&A of every month from now on, there's going to be some others joining in, because on my YouTube channel, I opened up a membership area on there, which is basically the same thing you guys get at Patreon, but some people don't like to go outside of YouTube or Google. And so they pay $5 there, and what they get in return is 1 live stream per month, and it'll be the second one of the month. So the next live stream, there'll be some new people joining in from there. But I think I'm going to be doing the giveaways like this, the first Q&A of every month, and we'll be giving away some cool stuff, kind of like this guy here. This one's mine. Somebody's going to win a brand new one tonight. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Most of you seems to hear me okay. Yeah, Ed, that video today, huh? You said that sounded like your voice. Now, I just re-edited that clip where they talk about God, the one where you said it sounded like your voice. And a couple patrons here said they heard there are hundreds here. And lo and behold, that's what I think is being said. There are hundreds here. So I re-edited it. And after tonight's live stream, I'll post that clip to Patreon. It's just like a bonus clip, and you can see. Thank you, Trina. Yes, I like this kind of color. It's kind of a cool color, right? And I'm using, I'm using a different camera today, so hopefully it doesn't shut off on me or do anything weird. It's just a different one than I normally use. I'm just testing this one out. So if my screen goes blank, I'll try to get it fixed as soon as possible. We might have to switch to my laptop's camera. All right, so let's see. If you guys have any questions, we'll start now. I don't know if anybody asked any yet. Let's see. Okay, cool. Looks like everybody was just getting situated. Yeah, don't drop it like the last one, right, Carrie Lynn? The last one was smaller. That one was shipped out, a brand new one. So, all right. So if anyone has any question, oh, here we go. Here's a question. Jeanette Thibault, is that your name? Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Steve, in what ways did your research findings change, evolve as a result of eliminating all fear from your work? Were the changes gradual or immediate? They were kind of gradual and immediate, really. Now, when I first started this, I did it as, out of excitement because I couldn't believe what I was hearing through these radios and devices, and they were saying my name, and I'm like, what? I didn't think it would be real. So that was driven by excitement at first, because as you guys know, in my history, I've always been interested in the spiritual side of life after death, proving life after death. I've always had that within me. And so the beginning, I did it almost every day, and I'd post these really bad videos to my first YouTube channel. I used to have a different YouTube channel, and they weren't really edited. They were just sloppy and put up and rough. And soon I started getting evil messages. And my son was doing this with me almost every day. He lived here at the time. And we'd start hearing voices, both of us at the same time, without any device on. We would just be in the house and we'd hear talking or them whispering in our ears. That led to fear. The first time I quit, I shut down that channel and said, I'm not doing this anymore. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, I came back with the new channel. And I vowed, oh, I'm not going to be afraid. But then I was attacked because I still did fear it internally. Like, it's easy to say, oh, I have no fear of this, or I have no fear of that. But a lot of times we say that and we really do have that fear inside, and we're just trying to convince ourselves that we don't. So my second phase in this, that's basically what it was. I was trying to convince myself that I had no fear. And when I went to the third phase or the second phase, I became attacked. And basically, I'm feeling weird right now. Almost like there's a spirit in here latching onto me, getting a little lightheaded. Very strange. That's never happened during live. So after that, it really scared me. Then I took time off, and basically after that, sorry guys, this is really weird. I'm feeling very lightheaded. Let me grab a water really quick. Hold on. Maybe it's too much caffeine. What I have left of it anyway. So after taking time off and realizing I shouldn't fear it because fear feeds darkness, fear feeds evil, then I took 6 weeks off, came back. I had that sign from God, that vision from God, and I basically decided not to have any fear of anything in life. Fear keeps us from challenges in life. I'm not feeling right, guys. Hold on. There's like something weird going on. It's even making my voice stutter a bit. Oh, here comes Debbie. Oh, thank you. She brought me a water. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It doesn't feel like any kind of attack. It just feels like I'm very lightheaded, like, if you have low blood pressure and you stand up really quick, that's kind of the feeling I'm having, like faint a little bit. So I apologize, guys, for this little delay. Very strange. So going back to what I was saying, I had that sign from God, and I asked God, if I'm supposed to do this, let me know, show me a sign. I received 2 signs, which I talk about in that video. And I was just shown from within that you can't fear this and still continue to do it, because it'll drive you mad. It'll drive you insane. So it's just kind of a thing where, like, death, I don't fear death, right? if it happens, it happens. We all die. So I don't fear it. I don't fear um, things in life or goals in life. Like some people say, I want to do this, but I'm afraid to take that first step. You can't be afraid to take that first step because fear keeps us from so many things in life. It keeps us from fun in life, accomplishing goals. So these days, you can't fear it. You just can't. And if you have that fear within you, then it's going to affect you in some way mentally. And I feel that that's where it can really get to you. So anyway, sorry about that little lightheadedness. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's see where we're at here. What video, what sign? There's a video, the thumbnail says sign from God, and I tell about what happened to me in my backyard one night. And then I asked for a sign. I saw a vision in my backyard. That's a big day for me because that's when a lot of things changed from within me. That's when I really started pushing love because I was shown love is the key. Love is our life. We were born into this life only knowing love, right? And we're not supposed to hate. We're not supposed to be hateful or hurt others. So that's when I realized love is the key. I was shown to push love, push respect. Don't fear things in life. You can't fear things that are out of your control because if you fear it, it's only going to make it worse. So yeah, there's a video called Sign from God. Thanks, Gina. Orange juice. I wish I had some. Blood sugar level can do that too. That's weird. I've never really had it like just come out of the blue like that, that feeling I had. I still feel a little lightheaded, but Debbie came right in with the cold water. Corporal Tom, how can you tell if a spirit is good or not? When you start doing this for a long time, you can feel spirit energies. And if there's a good energy, it feels warm and tingly and inviting, and you can kind of feel the love. If it's a negative, you can feel that dread and darkness, and it just feels off. There's two different kinds of energies. So when I'm doing a session, I can sense if there's something negative and there's something good. Now, I can't say I'm right 100% of the time, but that goes back to trusting your instinct and being confident in what you do. So I have been finding that trusting my instinct is always a good idea, and listening to that inner voice. So these days I have a pretty good grip on sensing like who is around me. As a matter of fact, there's something in here now. I have a DR60. Why don't we try and see if we can get an EVP real quick, just out of curiosity. All right, spirits. Is there a spirit in here with me right now? And if so, who are you? I don't know if we got anything.
All right, spirit. Is there a spirit in here with me right now? And if so, who are you?
Just a little whisper. Weird, because I keep feeling an energy on this side, like it's hovering, and it's very strong. And I was just talking about feeling the negative and positive energy. This energy is neutral. I can't really gauge this one. It's because I'm not getting the typical feeling, but I'm just feeling this wall of energy. Let's see where we at here. How did you develop your abilities? Psychic medium abilities. I don't call myself a psychic or a medium. I mean, I could, oh, I'm a medium and I'm doing this, but I don't, because I don't have the ability to walk up to a stranger and be like, oh, I'm getting a message from so-and-so. I can't do that. I think I mentioned it last live stream where most of this happens during group nights for me, where I just start seeing film strips. And this started happening actually a while ago, and I didn't even realize it because I thought it was myself. I thought I was like nuts, right? Seeing these things and maybe drumming them up myself. But then when I was used to do these experimental group nights on YouTube a long time ago, I would say certain things, you know, and but I would keep most of it in because I thought I wasn't seeing real spirits. I thought I was just making these up. So when I started doing the Patreon group sessions, I decided I'm just going to start saying what I see, because, you know, this is how we're going to find out if I'm getting messages from the other side or if it's just me making this up. And like 85% of what I'm seeing is being validated by patrons here. So that told me, again, be confident, go with your instinct, and don't be afraid to say what you see. I mean, that's part of opening up, because once you realize what you're seeing and saying is real, that totally opens you up even more, because you're like, holy cow, now I believe what I've been seeing, right? So it just kind of came. I think the more you do this kind of work, and the more you open up, and the more you drop fear, and the more you allow it in, the more that your abilities blossom, right? But it's all about your instinct, as I said, trusting that instinct, trusting that inner voice, because, you know, we have theories that that inner voice is really our guides helping us through this life. And sometimes we sway off that path this way, sometimes we sway off that path that way, but sometimes we listen and we go that way and everything works out. All right, there we go. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, no fear, no negative, no fear of death. I mean, death is natural. I mean, as much of a taboo subject as it is, you know, people get really worked up if you talk about death, or they get scared. Or, for example, I did the Lorraine Warren session at the request of one of her personal friends. He messaged me the day she passed, and he's like, hey, can you do a session for Lorraine? And I said, well, maybe give me a few days and I'll see if I'll do a session. So I did it and received communication. It was amazing, in my opinion. And, you know, there's always that group that hang out in certain groups in Facebook, and they just start attacking and hating. And it's disrespectful. And I saw it as the opposite. I saw it as the ultimate respect. Because if you deny a spirit a voice, that's showing disrespect. If a spirit wants to speak and be heard during that time, when they can do it with the most ease, I should say, even though it's not easy for them, that is giving them respect. And what is more precious than getting a message from a loved one on the other side, no matter when it is after they pass? But that's just me. That's how I feel, because maybe I've been doing this a long time and I understand death more. But there's, you know, there's some out there who don't understand it and they see it as a taboo thing, but it is natural. It happens to all of us at some point. You know, at some point, we're no longer going to be here on this physical plane. But anyway, I don't know where that tangent came from. Sometimes I rant on, as you guys know. Let's see. Listen to your sixth sense. That's right. Buffering. You guys are saying it's buffering. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean it's stuttering? All right. Let's see. I'm looking for more questions. Thank you, LS Baker. Have you ever wanted to do a session on Lucille Ball, says Crystal Connors. I like watching some of I Love Lucy clips. I used to watch I Love Lucy all the time, actually, and I think I thought about doing a session for her a long time ago, and then I forgot about it, so you just reminded me. So maybe I will, is the point, but I haven't yet. Has your doorbell rang since your last session? The Ring doorbell video I posted. No, it hasn't had that issue. There's been no phantom rings, as I called them that night. Everything's been normal. I've seen nothing. It's totally been fine. So that was just kind of a fluke thing. Now, some people are saying it was a spider, which, you know, if you look at it, the way cameras like that, especially in infrared, which that is, if there's a spider in front of it, not in focus, it could look like that. But I literally, went out there and didn't see anything. I didn't feel a web. I've never seen a spider at my front door. And then if it was a spider, it's not going to go curve around and fly in when I open the door. But, you know, it's unexplained to me, really. Cassie, has Betsy tried to send a message again? Is it Betsy Rotel, did she say? Do you mean through my box? I haven't had a Betsy in a while, actually, Cassie. But who knows? She might come back next time. How can you feel spirit energy, says Sade. I hope I'm saying that right, Sade. How can you feel spirit energy? Again, it comes from opening up and being sensitive to it. Now, I think anybody can do it. But me, I close my eyes. I've done videos on it, actually. There's videos on my YouTube channel that go over an exercise on how you can feel spirit energy, even a particular spirit that you can focus on. And it's basically you sit in a room like this. You want to meditate. You want to be quiet. You don't want to have any noise around you. You close your eyes. You sit there and you start envisioning deep space. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It'll take 20 minutes, but you envision deep space. You relax your body. You relax your muscles, right? And then you start envisioning the room as a square and you're in it. You start focusing on who you want to come into your space. I always like to envision a door. I envision that spirit coming in. And if you're really deep into it and the spirit, you envision them walking up to you and maybe hugging you, you can start to feel their warmth, that energy. The thing is, once you do it for the first time, it gets much easier. And then it starts to get to a point where if you go into a location, you can just feel it. Now, sometimes I go into a location, a house, a place of business, and I feel nothing at all, and I'm not thinking about it. And sometimes I go in and I'm not thinking about it, and it hits me like I just walked through a wall of spirits. But again, it's something that starts to come to you once you really dive into this research and work. Now, I've been doing this a long time now, and I think, is Josh here tonight? I didn't see, but Josh has been doing this a long time. And over time, you just start to pick up on these energies. But again, it's all about being open to it and not afraid of it. But I've been feeling them for, quite early on. I think the first couple of months, I would feel their energy. And it's pretty intense at times, but it's not a negative thing. It's actually kind of like a pleasant kind of feeling, unless you get a negative spirit, then it's frightening. But that's another story for another day. Let's see, I don't want to miss any questions. Again, I'm a little tired tonight, so if I'm not as energetic. That was me in the web theory. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, it could be, right? It's just what comes flying in the door. That's the question. Have you ever gotten an EVP with a person who is still alive? No, not that I know of. I have people who think you're picking up the thoughts of others. Now, I've done testing on that theory. I tested that theory a while ago. And, where I tried, well, it was kind of my own kind of test. And then I had someone else test it. But where you try to think of a thought and either have it come through the box or through the recorder, and you think of it really hard and you envision those words. And I've never been able to do that. So as far as I know, I've never picked up an EVP from someone who's still alive. Are you planning on trying to contact Lorraine Warren again? I don't have any plans to do so, but if it if I feel pushed to do it, I will. But as of right now, I don't know or think that I am. Has your wife ever told you that maybe it was time to stop because of certain negative energy and her not wanting you to be in danger? Debbie has never told me to stop or asked me to stop. In the beginning, when she first moved in here, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, it's been a long time now. She was afraid of it and it would frighten her. Now she's so used to it. And even when we had that evil, the problem with the evil spirits here, I mean, I think it worried her, but she never told me to stop because she knew, that's my call. That's, but I did stop for a while anyway, but yeah, no, but the answer is no. And again, I don't think you're really in danger unless you think you're really in danger. I don't think evil spirits have a chance against love, light, and God. And they feed off of fear. If you have that inner fear, they're feeding off of it, right? And they might have power over you, and they can get in your head and make you worry and make you stress. So as long as you don't have that, and my theory is that you won't have a problem. Now, ever, like I said, ever since that sign from God and the whole love thing, I've been fine. All right. I don't want to miss anything. There we go. I'm just reading the comments here, making sure I'm not missing questions. I think you missed my question above about the spirits who inhabit the body for an extended period of time. Lately, I have been feeling a sense of being out of sorts. Now, the thing with that is it could be spiritual, or it could be another issue like anxiety, panic, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, worry, fear, stress. There's been times when I felt out of my body, like not right. And I knew it was spiritual because they would tell me that they're in me now, like Ed and Billy, for example. Billy was attached to me for a long, long time. And if you look back at some of my videos, there's one that really creeped me out back then. And it was before that attack, where it said Billy is almost one with Steve. But they were making it sound like it was a good thing. And I really don't know what that was all about. But then after that attack, and we did the cleansings, and that was very powerful in my prayers, and we did all this stuff. Then I would get like messages saying Billy loves you, he would never hurt you, and it was all confusing, and it still is, because they speak in cryptic messages so many times. But if a spirit is attached to you for a long period of time, I do feel it can make you feel a little off. And what I felt was, I almost felt like there were times I'd be sitting there and my soul was trying to leave my body. Not that I was dying, which would happen, right? But I felt disconnected from me and my surroundings and my head, as something was off. And it was very uncomfortable. And it was shortly after that I had that full-blown attack where I thought I was dying for sure, and I thought it was all over. But it's hard to say, because there could be medical reasons for these things, and we don't want to always say it's paranormal. That's why I went to the hospital 2 or 3 times, and they had no idea why what happened. So it was unexplainable. But yeah, it's possible, I think, that if you have an attachment for a long time, it could make you feel off. Can spirit orbs help to heal a minor sickness like a cold or flu? I've never seen evidence of that. That would be awesome, though, but I've never seen evidence of that, so it's hard to say. Ed, I love the "why are you so white" comment. Yeah, I didn't get that at first. I was like, why are you so white? What is that about? And then you mentioned the light, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, right? Trishy, I got an EVP from a person who was still alive. Now, how did you do that? How do you know it was from the person that was still alive? That's the question I have, but it's very intriguing. Do you have any tips on visualization? I have issues with it. Everything seems so blurry. Yeah, for some people, for me too, when I started, it's for most people, I should say, when you start doing meditation and visualization, it's very hard because our minds tend to wander. And when our minds wander, we can't envision clearly. We can't meditate clearly because we might be thinking of the house payment, the car payment. What am I going to do tomorrow? I have to get up early for work in the morning. So you want to make sure your head is completely clear. You want no fogginess in your head, and you want to really just focus on a blackness for a few minutes, right? I always like to envision I'm floating in space and everything's peaceful. I see stars, and I try to lock that in. Now, when I first started doing it, it was very hard to do for me. My mind would wander, and I would start thinking of other things. But these days, I'm pretty good at it. So it comes with practice. And the visualization, it's just a matter of like sit in your bedroom or wherever you're going to do this. Look around the room, right? Then close your eyes And when you close your eyes, try to visualize exactly what you just saw. And it's not going to be as crystal clear as seeing it with your eyes, but you should be able to visualize the space you're in. And I can see the picture on my wall. I can see my computer over there. I can see the artwork behind me. So you just try to visualize. And then when you're visualizing a spirit that you want to come in, or even just sit there and visualize the room, and you might start seeing a presence come in, try to focus on that presence. And it could come in clear, maybe it won't, but if you want to visualize on a specific person, just try to visualize, remember them how they were at their best time in life, because that seems to be how they want to be remembered. So yeah, just practice. It comes with practice, basically. How do you handle negative remarks and still remain positive? That's a great question. See, those who leave negative remarks and hate and attack people like myself or Josh or anyone who does this, but I get a lot of it, right? And it does not affect me in the slightest for many reasons. A, I know what I do. I'm confident in what I do. And those who write hate on the internet are usually miserable in their own life for some reason. They're usually negative, they're usually hateful, and they're unhappy within themselves. So first thing I do is I don't watch any hate videos on me. I don't read any negative comments on me. I avoid negativity in my life, because if you start bringing in negativity, it's going to creep in, and it's like an infection. Once negativity gets in you, it starts to spread, right? But most people talk from either lies that were spread about me, or things they know nothing about, or things they think they know about, or they think they're better than everyone else when there are no experts in this field of work or research. But basically, I don't pay any attention to them, because a negative person who's spewing negativity and hate on the internet is looking for attention. They would love nothing more than for me to sit there and get into it with them, or make a video on them, or say their name, because most of them use my name in videos to try to get attention, or try to create a controversy. As a matter of fact, on Patreon, we had a person a few months ago who was basically an undercover hater trying to befriend me. And she even made offers for me to meet up with her while her husband was away. And of course, I ignored all that nonsense. And it turns out she was trying to entrap me in some kind of controversy so her and her friend could make a video about me. She spread more lies, and she spent months in my Patreon page trying to be like the best friend, telling people she was friends with me when we were not friends. So these people who go out of their way to obsess over me and attack me, they do not even deserve any of my attention, because it's nonsense. It's like childish behavior. We should all be kind to each other, right? I used to say to everybody in ITC, let's work together. And the people who attack, they don't want to work together. They want all the attention, and they don't like when someone else gets it. So I don't pay any attention. Now, on the off chance I see something, I'm just like, whatever. They're the ones that I try to send love to. They're the ones I pray for. If I see something nasty about me, I feel sad, but not for me. I feel sad for the person writing it, because I know that they have to have something within them that's unhappy. They wouldn't be on the internet writing negative and hate speech if they were happy, right? They would be doing their own thing and concentrating on that. So I don't have time to deal with negativity. That's the long answer to your short question. Pamela, love thy neighbor. That's right. Para-unity. I used to say para-unity, and they're like, we don't want that. Rah. One guy, I was like, he was attacking me years ago, and I'm like, come on, let's just work together. Think of the things we could do together. And he's like, I want to be alone at the top. I'm like, well, with that attitude, you're never going to be at the top. And it's not about being at the top. It's about doing what you love and doing it true to yourself and being honest. People ask me, well, how do I get a successful YouTube channel in the paranormal field? It's very hard. It's very hard today. I was lucky, because when I started, there were like 2 or 3 channels on YouTube. Now there's hundreds, maybe thousands. I don't know. But you have to be authentic. You have to be real. You have to be you. You have to be human. You have to be personal. You can't be afraid to talk about things that you believe in, whether even if they sound out of this world. You have to think outside the box. You have to be kind and respectful. You need to avoid the drama and not get into the nonsense. You don't want to make videos attacking others or trying to debunk someone. That's their own thing, you know? So be true to yourself. So that's what I tell people all the time. It's not going to be easy, and it has to be your passion. You can't do it for money. You can't do it with the goal of getting a TV show. You can't do it for any other reason besides you love it and it's a passion of yours. And that's why I do this. If I was doing this for money, I would have quit long ago. I make less money today than I think I've made in the last 25 years of my life, but I'm the happiest today. So that's what's crazy. Money does not equal happiness, right? I'm rich, but I'm not rich in money. I'm rich in love, peace, happiness, right? Calm. So anyway, that was another tangent I went off on. Para-unity, yeah. So anyway, let's see where else we got here. It's doing that jumping thing again. But yeah, you know, somebody said negativity is the thing I'm working on myself. You know, I used to have a lot of negativity within me. You know, I say previous life when I was married before. That's because I was in negativity and it was around me all the time. And it's like I said, it's like a disease and it spreads. And before you know it, you're moaning all the time. You're complaining all the time. You know, we have the, oh, it's always my luck. This happens, right? But if you turn that around, you know, even when something bad happens, it's kind of out of our control most of the time. So accept it and figure out a solution to make it better instead of moaning and groaning about it. That's just one thing. You know, I try to respect everybody. And if people are hating on me, I just avoid them. And if they keep doing it, I send them love. I'm like, you know, I wrote a guy back today who sent me a weird email. And I said, you know, I'm sending you much love, my friend. I hope you feel better. But love is the key. That's the bottom line. All right, let's see. Where are we at here? Why would they say you're the human or you're the alien? I've never heard them say you're the alien. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've had a session where they've ever mentioned aliens, nor have I had them able to confirm aliens. Anytime I ask about aliens, but then again, think about it. Aliens, that's a word humans invented. So if there were aliens, they wouldn't call themselves aliens, or they wouldn't know themselves as aliens because that's a human invented word. So maybe I'm asking the wrong questions, but I think I've asked, is there life, you know, outside of this planet? And they don't answer those questions, but as they have called me the human, right? And now there's two theories. Why would a spirit call us human or the human if we're doing a session? One theory is they are aliens and they're creatures, or they're from another planet and they're communicating. But if that's the case, why do all these messages say we're dead, we're spirits, we're ghosts, we want the light, we want heaven? Aliens wouldn't say that. Another theory that I came up with a while ago goes back to the word human. We invented that word. We invented the word human. But then again, you know, they know that word. Now I'm totally having a miss here. I don't remember what my theory was, but we invented the word human. We invented the word alien. You're the human. We are human, right? So if they're like the human, we call ourselves human. So maybe they're calling us what we call ourselves. I don't know. It's really unexplainable. But there are times, another theory is we're talking to both. Maybe we're talking to spirits at sometimes, and sometimes, you know, other beings are coming through. That's another possibility. And that's probably actually the one I'd go with, because I don't see aliens as, you know, always asking for heaven or God or the light or help, or, you know, saying that they're spirits. I even had that one session where they said, we're earthbound spirits. So yeah, it's hard to say. Will there be a time, from Yolanda? Hey, Yolanda, will there be a time when you can tell us steps you took when you had your attachment and what you did to rid it? Very important. I can. You know what? I'll make a note of that, and I'll either do a video or an article at my website on that. But again, my belief is anytime we communicate and we get solid communication, as in sometimes you could sit down and do a session and it's back and forth almost. It's not always all back and forth, but sometimes you have that solid connection. I believe with every fiber of my being, when that happens, there's an attachment in you at that moment. And they're using us partly to speak through devices. Now, if that's the case, sometimes they come and go, right? But you're probably talking about attachments that stick with you for some reason, whether it's an evil spirit trying to take you down in some way, or just a spirit who wants to hang out and feel life again. So yeah, I will write something or do a video on that. Actually, that's a good idea. Thank you, Yolanda. I'll remember to write that down. Hey, Olivia Gomez. I want you to know if anything ever happens to me, I have it in my will to inform you. I will be reaching out to help you. Well, thank you, Olivia. I mean, I'm going to do the same thing. When my time comes, I'll be out there trying to talk if I can. We don't know exactly what is on the other side in any kind of detail, and I don't think we're supposed to know. But, I guess we'll see what happens when we're on that side. Jello shots, you could email me, go to huffparanormal.com and click on contact, and that's how you can send me an email. Or on Patreon, you can send me a direct message on Patreon, which is even better. Negativity breeds more negativity, yes. Marie Sullivan, can you describe the feeling you get when a spirit is around? Sometimes the house feels so thick with electricity, alive almost, it wakes me out of sleep often. I am never sure, but feel spiritual. If you feel an electricity in your body, now you can learn how to feel their energy, but if you're going through your house, try to focus on your senses, right? Be very aware of what you're feeling on your body. And you might feel a little tingle on a part of your body. It could be your neck, head, chest, arms, excuse me. And if you feel any of that, stop and focus on it and allow it to get stronger, right? You want to open up, instead of fearing it and shutting it off, which it will stop then, open up to it and vision that energy flowing over you, and you'll probably feel it stronger. So walk through the house and see if you feel any energy. And I would say if you do physically feel, there could very well be a spirit in the house, but I feel there's spirits everywhere, Do you ever use tarot to connect with spirits, Ricky Romero? I used to when I was like 16, 17, 18, 19. I think 16 through 20, I had a tarot deck, and I used to use them all the time. And when I first started using them, I would write on the back of the card what each one meant, and that's how I learned what each card meant. But yeah. Are spirits able to pray for themselves? When I close, some say stay. Sterling K. I don't know. I would think so. But there are times when spirits do say, pray for me or pray for us. And they like for us to pray for them. So, yeah. I'm still back up where we were talking about the hate and attacks. Let's see. No one is better than anyone else. That's correct. No one is better than anyone else. We are all equal. We're born all equal, no matter our skin color, no matter if we're male or female, no matter as we grow older, our sexual preference, we are all equal. But there's so much hate in the world today. It makes me sad. Being an empath, you get really emotional sometimes when you see the hate And I'm not talking about hate at me, because that actually doesn't make me sad. I don't let it bother me. And I like to joke that my previous marriage, I was in training for all of this for 15 years, because that was rough, man. And that had me develop a super thick elephant skin. I'll tell you that. So maybe that was training for what I'm doing now. Can spirit influence your life if you ask them to? Tina Marie. I believe we all have guides or guardian angels. I believe if we listen to that intuition, that is them trying to lead us down the right path. I believe, like I said earlier, there is a path we should go down, and sometimes we stray. We all do it. We're all human. It's really hard to stay on that path your whole life. But I think if we listen to that intuition, I think that is our guides. But if you mean, oh, spirit, come in me and tell me what to do, no, I would never do that, because they are not going to know what you should do in life. Spirits, I've never seen any evidence that any spirit knows the future or really knows too much about the mysteries of the afterlife. They're there, but a lot of times they either can't say or they won't say. But anyway, that's the answer to that question. Hey, Sonia, I am a new member. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Oh, Sonia, hey, how you doing? Thank you, thank you. La Nuova Italia. Would you travel to Florida, all expenses paid? I need you to feel who is in my house. Now, Josh from Hope Paranormal, good friend of mine. Many of you here know Josh. He's in Florida, and he might be able to help with that. And you wouldn't have to fly him out because he's in Florida, depending on where you are in Florida, I guess. So, you know, let's maybe think about that. I'm all the way in Arizona. That's quite a flight. But, you know, it's not out of the question. Let's just say that. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, I don't want to miss too many of these. Sometimes I go on too long and I miss some of the questions. Are dream messages as good as spirit box? They're different. You know, dreams are surreal sometimes and crazy, and spirit boxes are just direct messaging from the other side. And even those direct messages sometimes are so cryptic and odd. You know, Sonia, when I do sessions, I sometimes hear a phone ring and hear a spirit say, answer the phone. You know, we've gotten that a lot too, me and other people who do this, where we'll either get a door knock, I used to get a knock and I'd say, open the door, and you'd hear the door open and they would say they were coming in. And for the phone, a lot of spirits like to use the term call, like to call me, or he's calling or calling. So anyone out there who does sessions, next time you're asking for someone, say you're calling for that spirit. They use that term a lot. Maybe they also do things that we're familiar with, like we're familiar with the phone, right? All right. Lonnie Smith, what's your theory with mirrors and portals to the other side? Have you had any experiences yourself? Has spirits ever said anything about it? I've seen faces in mirrors 3 times in the last 9 years. 2 I photographed. But as far as them being portals, I have not seen evidence of that. I know some people say that. Mirrors, you know, there could be something to that, but I did that video on the mirror where the spirits were like confirming they could be shown in the mirror. I used to have a black mirror where spirits were saying they were using it. But I don't know if it's a portal. I think we are a portal if we're opened up. Our divining rods, as good as spirit boxes, whole different thing. I mean, the rods, spirits can move them. It's spirit energy. They're using our energy as well. So it's a matter of, do you want a physical movement or do you want to hear speech? You know, it's still communication. Okay, it's 7:50, so in 5 minutes, we're gonna do the giveaway, 5 more minutes. We can all meditate during your sessions for I love them at the same time to send you energy. Sure. That's always welcome. That's what we do on group night, right? Ed Lawrence, only know two things are true, death and taxes, because you're not even guaranteed to be born. That's right. That's right. That's a good one. Taxes, don't get me started on that. Whew, that was awful this year, but I can't complain. I thought that was funny when Lorraine Warren said something about going back to sleep. Yeah, that was interesting. That's not the first time a spirit. It's not the first time a spirit mentioned going to sleep or sleeping or going to bed even. Ellis Baker, I wanted Afterlight Box to be an app, but it's a software download. It is an app. It's just like the SCD2 in a way that it's for Windows devices only. So if you app, you mean like phone? Yeah, it's not. So I guess, you are kind of right. It's a software download, but you do need a Windows, either Windows tablet or Windows PC to download it. Same as SCD1, SCD2, Ethereal, all those. But it's actually a really good, a really good app or piece of software. It's modeled. I remember when the guy made it. It was after SCD2, and he copied the SCD2 and made it free, but it was different. And I remember the time the guy was trashing me on Facebook, and I'm like, I'm not even going to use it. And I've just let go of all that stuff. So I'm like, if it works, I'm going to try it. So I tried it and it worked. So I gave a shout out for it. It's actually it's really good piece of software. Have spirits ever said that the light is a place? No, they haven't. They just say, we want the light, or we see the light, or we're in the light. I think it's just an energy, and I see it as a source of love energy, right? Pure love energy coming from the source. People in near-death experiences, even my own, I talked about, you see the light and you feel that warmth and you feel that inner peace, and all fear goes out of you. Even though you're dying at that moment, you have no fear of death. It's like it's taken over for you, where it's not something that's harsh. Of course, some people die in pain, and they, we try to ease their pain at those last moments. But at that actual moment of death, there is no worry, there is no fear, there is no pain. And that light, you see it and you want to go into it. So I guess the light could be a place, because if you go into that light and you transition to, say, heaven, maybe that's what heaven is. It's pure light. It's love. All right, where are we at here? Will you be collaborating with Anthony Sanchez again soon? I tried. I talk to him every now and again. We're friends. We're good. There was a thing when we came out with the SCD2. He was paying me a percentage of the app sales, and I was like, pretty much right off the bat, I'm like, I don't want any money for it. It just causes more confusion, and it makes me look like I'm using it to sell it. And he was worried he was going to look like some cheapo guy not giving me money. And I'm like, no, it's my choice. So after that, we were going to do an SCD3, and he wanted to do it. I gave him the ideas, and it was going to be like an interactive touch thing as well, where it was going to have a different radio implementation. And you ask a question and you put your hand on the tablet for the answer, and that would activate the scan. And when you let go of your hand, the scan would stop. That was my idea to him, but that was like a year ago now. And I think he came back midway and like, we're going to do it. And I'm like, all right. And then he gets caught up in other things. So I don't know if he's still interested in making apps. But a lot of people still think I make apps or I make all this money from apps. I don't make a cent from any app with my name on it. None, not a penny. It's my choice though. It's not people ripping me off. It's my choice. Is there an SCD2 for iPad? Nope. It's only Windows. And if I knew how to program apps, I would make one for iOS, and I don't. That's not my thing. I'm not a computer guru kind of guy. I wish I was. I do have some cool stuff coming though. I have 3 new Spirit Box devices coming. One is the first of its kind in the world. I can't say anything about it. I promised the guy I wouldn't mention it until he's ready. Now, it's nothing major, but it's super cool. It's unique. Let's just say that. So I have that coming, and I have two things coming from Paranologies. I used to have one of their devices, and there was a problem, but Jeremy Jones over at Paranologies, I've spoken with him the last week. I ordered some stuff, and there's going to be some cool stuff coming next week. 3 things from there, and I'm going to do videos on them and see how they work. And I'll start using them in the group nights as well because they're really good. It's the Poltercom devices. So I have a Poltercom coming and the handheld Poltercom or whatever it's called. And then I have his talking board. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Ouija board. It's really cool, has 2 Edison bulbs, and energy moves it. So if that's on during group night and it starts moving and spelling out words, how cool would that be? So that's all coming next week. He says they're shipping Thursday. So that's cool. All right, so Debbie can hear me. We're going to do the giveaway. She's going to come in here with the names, and I'm going to pull one out, and it's warm in here. It really is warm in here. It's not just me. It's like probably like 88 degrees in this room because the AC really stinks back here. So anyway, she's going to come back here. We're going to pull a name, and somebody's going to win one of these massive $250 Michael statues. All right, here she comes. Thank you. Oh, another water. Look at that. Awesome. All right, so I never understood how people say read the energy. It's more like feel the energy. As far as reading energy, one more little thing, and then we'll pull the name. For example, I don't know how many of you, I'm sure there's many of you here who can, you meet someone new for the first time, and you either like them or you know you don't, right? There's people, I can go up to anybody in person and know if I'm going to like them or not. I feel their energy. So I think that's what people mean by read the energy. Because once you start to learn how to feel energy of people, you know who to avoid and you know who is okay to be around. And, you know, I don't have like a ton of friends in life because I'm very selective of who I'm talking about in person that come over to my house and all that kind of stuff. I'm very selective as to who I trust because I can feel these energies. But that's another story for another day. Let's see here. Chris Flynn, I have very strong connection and keep around 200 spirits and 15 angels with me. You know, that's the thing. It sounds like a crazy amount, 200 spirits and 15 angels, but that's how it really is. Sometimes there's hundreds and thousands that come in. Not hundreds of thousands, hundreds or thousands that come in. And to them, it's like nothing, but to us, it's like, holy cow, there's so many. All right. So we're going to give this away. Debbie wrote the usernames here. If you were in here for the first half hour, your name is on a piece of paper here. So I'm going to pull one when I feel that the time is right. And hopefully who wins is someone who needs it or can, hold on, error. One drop, so we're going to mix them again. Okay, so hopefully someone who needs it will get it. You guys ready? Okay, I have one. Let me set the bowl down. Eek. All right, so I'm going to peek and see who this is. All right. So Sahar, S-A-H-A-R. Let's see if we can get this to focus. Of course, this camera I'm using today doesn't want to focus. Sahar, S-A-H. All right, so it's not going to focus. S-A-H-A-R, and is it I-R-I-C-K, Iric? Sahar Iric, you are the winner of the Archangel Michael statue. Congratulations. So how to claim your beautiful statue, which will be a brand new one, send me a message on Patreon with your name and mailing address, and I will get one out to you within a few days, and enjoy it. It's an amazing piece. This is like one of my favorite pieces I've ever bought, and it's so solid and sturdy. It's amazing. So congratulations. So to the rest of you, better luck next time. congratulations to Sahar. I hope I'm saying that right. So just send me a message. So anyway, guys, it's been fun. Sorry for earlier. I was feeling lightheaded, and I think I took my blood pressure the other day. It was kind of low, so I don't know if it's that or what, but sorry about that. I'm just reading your comments here. Closing comments. Yes, thank you to Debbie for writing all the names. She writes down every name and puts them on these papers and folds them up, puts them in the singing bowl, and we pick winners every live Q&A. All right. So that's it then. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Group night's May 22nd. The next live Q&A is on the 27th. And for the gold members, the next masterclass video is coming soon. I don't remember the exact date, but it's posted on the main Patreon page in the calendar of events that's going on this month. So love you all. Thank you all. I'm going to go out there where there's cooler air and relax, maybe go watch TV or something. And I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to post on Patreon here in a minute that re-edited clip from my last session where a couple of you figured out what was being said, and you can hear it. And it is what's being said. It's a pretty amazing clip. So I'll post that in about 3 minutes from now. Thank you guys. I love you. Remember, love is the key. And we will speak again.